combat at the Toshinden tournament, the secret society was crushed. It seemed that the underworld tournament had fulfilled its purpose. But as the fighters returned to their everyday lives, a new enemy arose to confront them. An enemy that hungered after their blood.
Released in 1996, developed by Tamsoft and published by Takara, again, Battle Arena Toshinden 3 is the third game of the series with some changes from the first two, whereas the last game was edited and refined from the first game being a clunky 3D fighter, and then a second game being an improvement on the first game with some changes. The third game, however, is built from the ground up and refined to being something more manageable. The gameplay is a lot more different than the last two, because instead of it being in the ring where it is easily to get knocked out, you are in a more enclosed space, similar to Hudson Soft's Bloody Roars series. So, no more ring outs, and most fights are relegated to 1 rounds, which can be changed in the option. Returning from the second game is the overdrive meter, where pressing 2 of the same attacks activate the overdrive attack. A new addition is the energy attacks, which is represented by the blue orbs above the overdrive bar that can be activated just like the overdrive. However, you can only do 2 per match. The controls are the same as the last two games, with X and circle being kick and triangle and square being weapon attacks, each resolving in different strengths, being weak and strong. L1 and L2 does that forward roll, which helps you move around the arena more. Then an addition being special attacks assigned to R1 and R2. Although this is nothing new in most fighters these days, this helps if you cannot do inputs. Lazy, but efficient. And the movement is a lot more smoother and decent in animation than it being clunky than the last two games. Now, graphically, I know what most of you are thinking. The models do look decent for what they are, but what is with that background? Alright, now you see this game runs at a frame rate mode which can be switched from 30 FPS to 60 FPS. 30 FPS maintains all the background details with a sacrifice of the game speed, while 60 frames per second runs faster with the sacrifice of the background being low flat shaded polygons. The roster starts off with 14 characters returning from the last two, with some new additions other than characters like AG, Kain, Tracy, Sophia, Rungo and so on. But no foe, my guys, no foe. But also this game has an additional 18 unlockable slots, taking the full roster to 32 playable characters, which is a big deal for fighting games on hardware such as the PlayStation. Returning from the second game are the arcade mode, full battle, 1v1, one versus computer, with a new addition which I will give praise for that the other two seem to lack, and that is the practice mode, which is actually useful if you want to perfect and hone your skills in the art of fighting itself. And finally, the last thing I wish to bring up is a save and load system, which means any progress that have been made can now all be saved for the sake of continuing on and unlocking anything. Now, is the game good?
Of course!
Yes! Yes!
Okay, before I give the final verdict, there are two glaring issues that plagued the last two games, being the jump being really high, just like as always, and the camera always being in an awkward position where you seem to see, like, have it focus on your back sometimes and you don't know whether you're going to hit or block. So, and again, it's that kind of perception that just kind of throws it off. However, being the Battle Arena Toshinden series, I kind of got used to it. But these are only minute issues. They're not really that bad. Now, everything else about Battle Arena Toshinden 3 is decent. I love it. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you, it is still not a perfect fighting game by any means, but the changes really help a lot. And personally, it is more friendly than the last two, and honestly, this fixed everything about it. I will say this one is worth the play over and over again, and especially this game is also worth the play over the other two games for more of a replayability and longevity factor. And so that's all for the Battle Arena Toshinden series. I hope you like it. If you liked what you saw, remember to like, comment and subscribe. And if you think I should do number 4, forget it. In my eyes, that game doesn't exist.